Hello. It's another new fucking day. January the 29th. Another late one yet again. Sorry. Um no, I think we're gonna I think it's official pretty much that I pretty much suck on getting shit done on time. It's really because my girl's off on the weekends, man. Like I'm busy with her on the fucking weekends. Always doing some shit. Or doing some shit with my family. So there's that. So my bad. I am trying to do it every Sunday, but it's not turning out to be every Sunday. I'm in the middle of trying to make fucking money and spending time with her. Um, Anyways, so how the fuck is everybody? Good. I'm hoping. If it sounds a little different right now, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but I'm driving, and don't worry about me though, because I'm fucking. I'm mic'd up. I'm mic'd up. Alrighty. So where to start? Where to start? Well, I'm went to the VA this morning. The fucking tried to submit a goddamn claim for my injuries when I was in the military. Um, I've listen. I've always had this dream to go back in. Right. I wanted to go back in for a long time. I left because I got a hip injury back then, and I lost a little bit of hearing. Right. And I was like maybe 19, 20-ish when this happened. And no, since then, like I had the dream to go back in because I've always wanted to be in the military for like the longest time since I was a boy. And so when I got out, I felt kind of like upset, a little disappointed in myself and a little bit disappointed that I didn't do good preparation um, before going in there. And I wish I would have kept up with my body. Honestly, I let myself go. That's a little bit of depression there. A little bit of loving food too much. And listen, food is fucking delicious though. At the end of the day, like fucking cover everything in gravy and syrup. Then yeah. But what was that? So yeah, I went to the VA this morning. Pretty much made a claim. Did not know it'd take about 145 fucking days to do this entire process. So there's that. Um, Man, I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I wrote it down too, and I want to check my fucking phone, but I can't. I'm driving, and it's only gonna be like a 20 to 30 minute drive to get home, and I'm trying to rush home right now. I gotta piss like a motherfucker. I gotta take a shit. Like I just ate some fucking breakfast, and now I gotta go. And I got a thing to do at 1 o'clock today. Um, Gotta fucking do something for my for work. I gotta do a physical test today, which is gonna take an hour. They told me not to drink no caffeine, no alcohol, no anything before going in, and I'm not listening because I need some food in me. But I'm guessing they don't want me to be sluggish. But I figure I'll be alright. Not gonna drink coffee though. Um, let's see, and then I got another one. I'm going for like two jobs at the same time right now. So I got another physical thing tomorrow at like 2. And that shit takes 3 hours. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna make me do for 3 fucking hours. All right, and it's a physical thing too. Like they want me to push shit around. They want me to pick up shit, and I don't get it. 3 fucking hours, whatever. So yeah, man. What is it? It's Monday now, so I just came out of the weekend with my girl, and I'm not sure if I told you guys this fucking story already, but I think it was like about 3 Saturdays ago, or 4 Saturdays ago. She wakes me up, right? I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping good, right? I'm dreaming about other bitches, and I'm sleeping good. And she fucking wakes me up and say, "Hey, honey, how are you?" I was like, "I'm good." And she's like, "I just want to let you know that I reorganized some things in the bathroom, and I want to like, I just want you to know that like I had to move your stuff. I had to move your stuff, but it's okay because everything is where it needs to go." And in my head, I'm like thinking, what the fuck you mean by everything is where it needs to go? Like my shit goes with my shit. That's what I think. This bitch takes up about 95 fucking percent of the bathroom. Okay, like we have this like I'm gonna say like this cabinet thing, not the under the sink thing, but we have like a separate thing to keep our personal items. I'm talking, like combs and hairbrushes and hair dryers and a whole bunch of shit. So we got this cabinet thing. She had out of 3 shelves, she has 2 of them. Actually, I should really say 2.5. I only have half a fucking shelf. I don't even get a full fucking shelf. I got half of that. And you know what? She's like, my stuff is taking up too much room. That's legit words. My stuff is taking up too much room. My half shelf is taking up too motherfucking much room. I got so goddamn pissed that morning. I told her to stop touching my fucking shit. And she went ahead. She did it anyways. We got into a big argument, blah, blah, blah. She actually manned up or womaned up and fucking apologized to me, but she never put the shit back. So now my shit is all over the place. And all my meds and stuff like that I take to go to sleep or stuff, that shit got thrown out. And I can't sleep for shit. Like once I'm asleep, I'm asleep, but like typically I don't go to sleep for shit. I'll be up early in the morning. I don't go to bed until like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And I'll wake back up the next day around 7. Like it's just how my brain is. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so if I said that story, my apologies for fucking repeating myself. But it has something to do with the next story I want to say, which is that I'm out here, like I was out doing some door dashing, trying to make some money, and my girl's over the phone with me, right? She wants to call me on her way home from work, and she got through the house, like into the house and shit, and she wants to say like this, like our cat, we have a cat, right? The cat starts going off, meowing and crying out her name, right? And we don't know what this cat wants sometimes, right? She has a bowl full of food. She has water. Sometimes we open the window so she can get some sunlight, something like that, right? Like we try to do what we can for this cat, because this cat was a fucking stray when we got it. It was like abandoned. So, and I don't know. I literally grabbed it from the hallway that I found it in, and I rescued it. And now it's our cat. But what I was gonna say? No, man. Like we have a collar for this cat. The collar was my idea. Let me say this, so I don't want you to guys think my girl is an asshole for this. But this collar is not a regular collar, right? It's not one with a bell or anything. I got a shock collar for this fucking cat. So at the end of the day, I still hate fucking cats. I hate them. I hate them so fucking much. But and it makes me wonder why I rescued it. But no, I still got sympathy at the end of the day. But yeah, so I got this shock collar for this cat. But the shock collar has a remote control, right? And it has like certain settings. It has the shock setting, and then it has a beep. It makes a beeping noise, and it also makes a vibrating little thing to like kind of startle the cat. Most times, most times, I use either the beep or the buzzer. The beep or the buzzer. All right. But it does have a shock feature. Now my girl knows. My girl knows that I might shock our cat one day. If she's really fucking annoying me, I will shock the cat. Not the girl annoying me, the cat. The cat annoy me, like prying at the door and shit like that while I'm trying to take a shit. And I never have it on a high setting either. It'll be just like a little zap, whatever. But it can go high. It does have the option. It even gives you a warning, like, "Hey, oh, watch out." But going the Green Mile kind of rat on this cat. But but yeah, no. I have the power, and my girl doesn't trust me, right? So I haven't touched this cat collar in a while. I think it's like before Christmas. That's how long it's been. And my girl wants to put the collar back on the cat because now she's getting annoyed by the cat because this cat is getting a little antsy lately. And guess what? She misplaced it. She she misplaces it, and she's like, I'm over here like talking to her like I'm her fucking father. So like I'm being mean, but I'm also trying to be assertive. Like, what do you mean you can't find it? You're the last one to touch it. You took the collar off of this girl, and she's like, yeah, but I don't know where it is. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck you mean you don't know where it is? You're the last one to touch it. So since you're the last fucking one to touch it, you should know where it is. And she's like, listen, it's not my fault that I misplaced it. And I'm like, bitch, what do you mean? You just said you misplaced it, hence it's your fault. And she's like, no, it's not my fault. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean? And I'm over here just arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And she's like, if you're being mean, I'm gonna hang up. And I'm like, whatever. And I just had to ask, like, why the fuck would you hide the goddamn collar? And she wanted to say, well, I didn't want you to do the wrong thing to the cat, so I had to hide it. Like, I'm a, she's been with me. This girl has been with me longer than any fucking guy she's ever been. All right, it's been 5 years, right? It's been a fucking long time. Okay, this girl's seen me do crazy shit before. All right, but she has to know, out of all the crazy fucking shit that I've ever done, I have limits. Like I have reason behind me. Okay, I'm not just fucking lighting people on fire and shit. Don't Not to say I haven't thought about it, but still, like I got limits. I know my limits. So yeah, no, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that she assumed this out of me, and we go crazy. But yeah, so but basically she didn't trust me, and it put a little hole in that day, and that's what I had to deal over the weekend. Just a little bit of tension there. But that's the I guess that's the way of the shit goes, right? Anyways, I want to give a special shout out to one of my good friends. I don't know if I can actually say his name. I'm not sure if he wants to stay anonymous, but out of respect, I will. I will keep it anonymous. But basically, he came up with a list of things to talk about. You know, some things I already talked about before, but maybe I can go more in depth into it. So thank you for him. I also want to say thank you to two more, two more listeners in Canada. I think I mentioned you guys already. I know I got Germany, I got Canada, and I got one in, I believe, Switzerland. So thank you to y'all. Um, what else? What else? What else? What? I'm almost home. Almost home. Oh my god! Look at that. That should show you my speed. It's almost 15 minutes, and it was a 30-minute drive. So I'm flying through this bitch. Uh, and I'm almost out of gas. Alrighty. I'm not gonna end the podcast just yet. I still gotta fucking. I'm gonna give you guys at least 15 to 30 more minutes if I haven't ran out of shit to say yet. Um, what's next? What's next? So yeah, man, I've been actually like listening to some podcasts, some interesting podcasts that I just find amusing, to be honest. I didn't know this, but um, I'm pretty sure you guys may have heard of a comedian slash podcaster named Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn is actually he's a character on himself. Uh, I used to have this kind of line of thinking, but somehow I matured. So there's that. So now I'm this boring fuck. But yeah, no, he was interviewing this doctor, right? Apparently, this doctor he set up a foundation that looks at people's testaments of near death experiences. And what's classified as a near death, according to this doctor, is when your heart physically stops beating. Right? There's no more pulse, nothing. You're dead, and then you come back. All right, calling it a near death experience. All right, so this foundation pretty much collects testimonies, completely anonymous. There's no incentive. Nobody makes money. All right, but yet everybody gives what they remember, what they can remember after they have clinically died. And it's really interesting. I do suggest for everybody to go to at least to listen to that one episode because I actually felt like I had a little bit of an insight was after death. And very surprisingly, most people had a similar story. Out of like the thousands of stories, at least a good chunk, like 3 to 5 thousand of the stories are very similar, which is to the point where it starts to look like it has a pattern. Um, and believe it or not, not everybody was what do you call that? Believing in a god or anything like that. Like no, like some of them were atheists that had near death experiences. Some of them didn't even believe in the same God, right? And some of them, actually, most of them, wouldn't even describe of seeing a God when they died. Isn't that interesting? It wasn't seeing a God. It was more like they acknowledged that there was a higher being, but God was just like the earthly name that we have for this higher being. But honestly, like the real thing apparently is indescribable, according to them. I don't know. I haven't seen this thing, so I don't know. But it is interesting because most of them actually have a similar experience where they describe a place. First off, when you first go through this out of body experience, it's almost like you're seeing everything in a person perspective, where you see your body, you see everything. But then what's interesting is because we're they say that because we're in a physical body, like our vision is front facing, right? Our eyes are front facing. We only can see what's in front of us. Where because we are out of our bodies, apparently you have a 360 view. We're not capsulated into our own bodies. So I think that's actually interesting. It's really fascinating things. I do suggest anybody who wants to know about the afterlife to please go check out that episode, at least that one. You don't have to subscribe to the podcast. I'd rather you subscribe to me, but um, yes, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Um, so yeah, I try to get my girl into that too, but I guess she doesn't want to know about the afterlife, and I wanted to get my sister on it too, but I know she's really hung on God and all that stuff. So I don't want to derail her from like her belief system. I know the good book says one thing, but when I'm seeing a whole bunch of people, giving this same kind of testament over and over again, it's kind of like, you know, like like what's there is there, and it's not denying that there's no afterlife. It's just saying it's just a little bit different from the book. Alrighty, and I'm pulling into my driveway now. Oh, close to it. Anyways, what's next? No, what's next is that I also have no man. God damn it, I'm fucking boring. God fucking Lee. What should I say? All right, I'm gonna pause the podcast right here. I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna go do my thing. I'm gonna go take a piss. I'm gonna go take a shit, and I'm gonna touch base with y'all in a few. It's gonna seem instantaneous to y'all, and I promise I'll come back with something else. I promise I'll come back with something else. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and I'm back. So did my business and feel a lot better now. uh, fucking asshole was burning a little bit. Um, yeah. So I'm going through my fucking phone here, and I'm trying to see what I wrote down. I don't understand my own shit like at all. I'm going through my notes. You know what I wrote down? I don't even know what this means. Apparently, I would know what it meant at a later at a later date and time. I wrote down bee honey gangbang. I don't even know what that even means. Like, am I picturing a bunch of bees banging each other and they're coming honey, or like do you get it to have a gangbang covered in honey as a human sticky and shit? Like, I don't even know what that meant, but I felt the need to write down bee honey gangbang, which means something in this world. Oh, did I drop something? Oh yeah, I dropped my AirPods. I mean, yeah. I guess that was funny for me. Let's see. Did I write anything else? Let's see, there's lyrics. Oh, I don't need that no more. Well, I guess while I'm talking to you, I might as well go through a memory that I just had. So, my friend, right, the guy I just mentioned about giving me the list of things to talk about, we had a mutual teacher. I'm sure he'll appreciate this. Um, we had a mutual teacher. This fucking cunt. Um, I don't care about spilling her shit out. I hope her fucking life is ruined in my eyes. But to give you some backstory before I even go into that story, is that some of you who are listening may know that I have a long history with anger management. Um, I'm a pretty angry guy. Even right now, I'm angry, but I manage it better. But I can snap at any moment, and I will yell to the top of my lungs over some stupid shit. Just yesterday, I like while my girl was sleeping. It was like 12 in the morning. I just decided to yell fuck, and she wakes up startled, and, and she's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Nah, nothing. I just thought about something." Like, and you know what? She went back to sleep. You know why? Because she's used to it by now. She's used to my fucking crazy ass. But anyways, um, so yeah, I have a long history with anger, and sometimes when people tell me things that I don't agree with, I either handle it one or two ways. One being I handle it with an argument or fighting, or B, I stay to myself. Well, this time, well, my backstory is that when I was younger, I used to like do shit, but it was for me, it was my therapy. Okay. I used to like write down in notebooks or draw in notebooks, right? Like shit that I would just fucking do with my teachers, right? Like I would just push them off a ledge or shoot them in the leg or some bullshit. Like I drew this all out, and it's not because I really wanted to do them. It was just because that was my way of like getting my fantasies out and just putting them out on paper, and that was like a way to vent. But I get it. Like, listen, Columbine and all that shit. Like you would think I would be a school shooter, right? Like that's That's what people would think I'll be. But no, that was actually my therapy because I didn't really have people to talk to, at least not at that time, right? I didn't even know you can speak to like a guidance counselor or nothing. Like I wasn't there yet. So so um so yeah, that's what I used to do with therapy, and not that particular teacher, but there was a teacher before, like in the 6th grade, right? I went to there was like this old Jewish history teacher I used to have, and she found like a notebook in my backpack, and she didn't find it. Let's be honest, she fucking went through my shit. Okay, like I that was in my bag. It was zipped away. It was in my school bag. What compelled her to come through my go through my shit? And I tell you what compelled her, because her old Jewish ass wanted to fucking be Snoopy. So yeah, I felt a little targeted. Like, why would you go through my particular bag? There's like 28 other fucking kids in the class, but you went through mine. You know why you went through mine? Because you knew you pissed me off. You wanted some shit on me, right? Maybe I pissed you off, so you got to get back at me. Whatever, whatever. 6th grade, right? I was like what, 11? I think I was 11. And so yeah, I got in trouble for that. I got suspended. My dad wanted to take away my GTA 4 game, which he thought that was the cause of my anger. Little did he know that my anger derived of being raised with a single parent and fucking having mommy issues. But no, it was all through the video games. In fact, the video games was my therapy for the longest time. Um, but yeah, so going back to that other teacher I was mentioning. uh, uh, oh, I did it again, but I did it. I advanced. So I went from notebook to computer on this story. So we used to have this teacher. Her name is I think her, if I remember correctly, Miss Hilliard. Right, this old Irish fucking Staten Island fucking cunt. I don't know where she's from, but she can. Anyways, um, so I don't know how to explain it. She was like in charge of reading slash English kind of shit, right? That was like pretty much her part of all this. And me and my mutual friend had this teacher together. His favorite story is pretty much when it was like St. Patty's Day, and this Irish broad brought some homemade soda bread, and like I went up to go get a slice, and then when I went to go back like sit down. When I went to go sit down, I missed the seat, right? And when I missed the seat, I fell to the floor, but I didn't spit. I didn't drop one goddamn crumb of that bread. I kept that shit up. And maybe it was that was the inner Latino in me, because we do the same thing with beer. but yeah, she wanted to do a fat joke on me. It's like, oh, big boy didn't want to lose his bread, and it's funny now. I get it, but as a kid, as a developing kid, especially a kid who's fucking struggling with weight issues, like yeah, it gets me a little bit tight. But it's everybody's favorite fucking joke, including my friend to this day. He remembers that day. I'm not sure if he remembers this day though. But there's another story that got brought up, thanks to my lovely um, future ex-wife here. Um, because she makes fun of me a little bit. My girl makes fun of me because I can't spell. Like I can spell like basic words. But stuff like pterodactyl and shit, or xylophone. Like I can't spell all that shit. But then it gave me a flashback of a time where, back to Miss Hilliard's class. Um, man, this is showing my age, but I'm not sure if anybody remembers this. There was a program called Read 180. Right? Basically, if you're a fucking dumbass who don't know how to read and write, and you need to like take him by the hand kind of shit. There was this old school fucking thing called Re 180. We used to have this headset that plugs right into the computer. The headset was made out of metal and stuff because they knew that they were messing with kids and stuff. So it has to be made out of metal for durability. For durability. But what can I say? So this particular day, I'm not sure if it was the same day or not, but this particular day she pissed me the fuck off. Pissed me the fuck off, but I wish I was trying to hold my shit together because I didn't want to give her the satisfaction, right? Just holding all my rage in. And basically what happened was I started typing my feelings. It wasn't typing like on a Word document or nothing like that. It was the login to the computer, like just a basic fucking login to the computer. I think this was a time before, oh, maybe it was on the username part, but pretty much I was just writing down. Maybe that was my mistake. I didn't put it in the password section. I put it in the username section. I was like, this fucking ginger bitch, blah, 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 blah. Like just cursing her the fuck out on the user tab. It was the longest username anybody's ever goddamn seen. But this little guy, I don't know, it wasn't my friend, but it was some other fuck right next to me. Fucking bitch ass. I wasn't. Was it Kenny? No, I don't know. But this goddamn motherfucker, like, just yelled out, "Ooh, ooh, he's oh my god!" Like all that shit. And as soon as I knew this motherfucker was a snitch, all right, we all grew up in the fucking poorest of poorest. Like I thought we had a sense of community. God damn it, but no, he fucking snitched me out. And you know what? You know what I did? I just highlighted the whole shit and I deleted it all. That's it. I deleted it all. And before this teacher said before anything, before the teacher can even see, was that what I wrote, she sends me to the principal's office, right? So like she's like, go to the fucking front office now, blah blah blah, right the fuck now. And I go there. I go there, I sit in the lobby, blah blah blah. And I'm just waiting patiently to be called into the front to the principal's office. And I go there and oh, I think I know what day this is. And this might have been my last day there too, because I remember I was moving. So oh, maybe I should follow up with that too. So yeah, so this I was wondering why I didn't get suspended or in trouble or in detention. Now I think I know why. So I go to the principal's office and what's there? This fucking ginger cunt with her goddamn fucking flip phone. And she's showing pictures of what I wrote on the computer. And here's the thing. I fucking deleted my shit. I deleted my shit. So this means this fucking redheaded cunt goddamn retyped whatever she thought I put down. Right? And show the principal, and this is like, oh, this is what he says. He's a dirty little fuck. Like this is what. No, he shouldn't say all that, but, but basically, I got the gist. Like this motherfucking spick, blah 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 blah, and and yeah. So like my only defense to this day, I can defend myself on this one because if I don't know anything, I know this from according to the photos that I saw, and according to what they claimed that I said. My only defense is, bitch, I can't spell. Like, everything on this fucking screen is spelled correctly. I went in your class. I don't know how to spell for shit. That was my only defense. I didn't know how to fucking spell. You expect me to develop knowledge just to curse you out? Like, no, bitch, I was spelling like I don't know. Like, spelling fuck with a ph. Like I didn't know how to fucking spell. And that was my only defense, but nobody believed. Nobody believed me. And, I'm guilty till proven innocent kind of shit. And then, that's kind of been the story of my life. Guilty till proven innocent. And even then, I'm still kind of guilty because apparently I'm guilty for them having them thoughts in their heads. And that's been with my family. I think I've been guilty with my father more times than I can count, even though I didn't do shit half the time. Um, in fact, in fact, Sid, if you're listening to this podcast, you have to, what I'm going to talk about, right? Like, I know when you're listening to this, I know you know what I'm talking about when I say you need to tell dad. Okay, you need to tell dad exactly because you know what he still thinks I did to this goddamn day. And I could blow up your shit. I could, or you could be an adult and actually confess to your shit. So if you're listening, all right, it's either you tell him or I tell him. Okay, because I'm tired of him thinking of me being a certain person that I am not. So, hmm. Anyways, I guess that's like the benefit of being like daddy's little girl, right? Like I know for a while my dad's passwords to a couple of things like his laptop and stuff was my sister's name. I wasn't even the privilege of being my dad's password. And I guess when you have like a dick and balls, you're not really like top priority. But daddy's princess. And there was some shit, bro. Like, listen, I'm not trying to get into my childhood and some shit, but there was been times where like I'll be sick. I'll be sick, right? And this motherfucker, like my dad would tell me to fucking go to school. I don't care if he said go to school or like oh, you're sick? You're sick? Well, go to bed since you're sick. All right? You don't need to go nowhere. You're sick, you go upstairs, close your eyes. That's it. Go to bed. My sister comes home with fucking McDonald's and having daddy daughter days and ice cream Sundays and shit when she's sick and she's not feeling well. Ah, fucking Lee. What a trip. But, my sister said my dad didn't like her. And I don't know how she didn't get that because I'm over here with, like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about their relationship. She can talk about their relationship, but I'm just saying what I remember. What? Holy shit! Did I even press record on this? Okay, I was worried that I didn't press record. Almost 40 minutes. Is it going to be another 40-minute podcast? Well, let's see. Let's go to that list that my friend provided. Let's see if I can talk about something from there. Do I have? Maybe. What are some? Oh, these are some deep ones too. Like this is gonna require. Honestly, I like the list. I really do. I just can't talk about it by myself. I need like another view on this. I need another person on this because I can get deep, but I can't get deep right now. Anyways, so I'm just gonna tell you what lately I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about midgets for some reason. Specifically, I know I can't call them midgets. I get it, little people. I get it, but I met them, and you know what? Most of them who are not white are they're cool with being called midget. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. They got other things to worry about. They got so much shit on their plate, bills and raising kids and shit. All right, but The white ones, the ones that have the money and time, like I guess they can feel they have time to fucking worry about their goddamn titles and shit. Those little people. You know what? That title by itself, little people, I don't even like that title. You know why I don't like it? Because it's just that sounds like, I don't know, provocative a little bit. You know, like I'm when people see me, they see my Latino side. I come to find out, well, not come to find out, I knew for a while, but I'm a very mixed person. I got Asian, I got black in me, I got white, I got Latino. I'm actually part Native American too. I just found out I, literally last week, I'm Melanesian. I didn't even know that. I didn't fucking know that I was Melanesian, okay? But that's pretty cool. But when people basically look at me, they just see the light skin, even though, like, literally, other than my father, both my aunt and uncle, my grandmother, my grandfather, like all dark skinned people. I don't know what happened to me and my pops, but that's what happened. Light skin as fuck. Milk and coffee. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the midgets. No, I was just thinking, like, what? I don't know what compelled me to think about this, but I started replacing everybody in my eyes, like my head, in movies to becoming midgets. Like I'm watching the Titanic. I almost said the Titanic, the Titanic, and and I'm picturing Rose. Is that her name? Rose? I want to say it's Rose. Rose as a fucking midget. I'm picturing the Jack as a fucking midget. I'm picturing the whole crew as midgets. Like I don't know why, but I'm thinking somehow by adding midgets, it's it makes the movie so much funnier and so much better. I don't know why. Can you imagine two fucking midgets fucking in the back of that car? Like it's just like little handprints, little baby handprints. I don't know why, but that brings me so much joy. And I started doing it with a whole bunch of other shit. Like next time you watch a horror movie, you see like a scary ass demon, make it a midget demon. Like I'm just saying, like once you do that in your brain, it's fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Isn't that weird? That you think about midgets and you get hungry? Like, you ever think about like if a midget goes to like, I don't know, if they go get like a hand job from a fucking Asian massage parlor, like it's not really called a happy ending. It's called like a happy meal ending. Like one, I don't know. The, that being said, out of all the motherfucking bitches I fucked, I will say I never fucked a midget. I came close. Oh, I came real fucking close. Oh, there's one little white one too. But yeah, somehow it was not what I thought it would be. Actually, let me go into that story for a sec. So this one midget girl, right? She was looking bad. I'm not gonna lie, for a little midget, she was not looking bad. Right? It was almost like, you know how like midgets are kind of like looking a little distorted, like fucking funhouse mirrors kind of distorted. Yeah, she was not looking like that. She looked proportionate. All right, and I don't know how to explain it, but she was not looking too bad. And I almost went with it too until she told me it's gonna be about $400. I'm like, $400, and she's like, yeah, $400. And I'm like, it should be half price. I'm sorry, but it should be at least half price than that. Okay, and $400. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I can get a crack whore for less. Like I was trying to negotiate. Like I don't even want to pay. I was just arguing with the semantics. I was not gonna pay for sex, but I was just appalled. Like $400 fucking dollars, and that wasn't even the full thing. That wasn't even to put up all the way. That was just to get a hand job. This bitch, I don't even know where she's coming from this. I don't know. I guess I got a lot to learn still. $400. Get the fuck out of here. For a hand, I could do that myself. I can do that myself. Nobody give a better hand job than me. Okay, god damn it. Anyways, I I want to. I don't know. I was gonna talk about like I was gonna make an episode about firsts, right? Like I wanted to talk to people about their first times doing certain things, right? And I remember, like, I want to talk about my first, right? Like, we all have a first something, right? First time we rode a bike, first time we drove a car, first time we went to college and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody has a first in something. And I wanted to talk about a few of my firsts, but I also wanted to have it with somebody, preferably on a phone call. Or as soon as I figured that out, my mutual friend, like I was telling you guys, like he wants to come on the podcast too, and I don't know how to do the phone call thing just yet. I know that there's an app. I'm still trying to work with it. I'm still trying to like figure it all out, guys. Still a pretty young podcast. What I was gonna say, but yeah, I wanted to talk about my first time I lost my virginity, first time I drove started driving. You know what I mean? Like first time I met my first crazy person. You know, like all of it. But I feel like it's that alone is gonna take at least an hour to an hour and a half. That's why I want to do it with somebody because like, I got stories a little bit. I'm still pretty young, so I don't got that many fucking stories, but I got some. And is there like a GoFundMe for fucking podcasts? I want to do some shit on this podcast. You don't understand. Like, you think I want to fucking sit here and talk to you guys for a goddamn hour? Like, I want to, but you guys don't fucking reply, so you guys are bullshit, anyways. For the most part, some of my family and friends wants to reply, but you motherfuckers that I don't even know from a hole in the wall, yo, fuck y'all, man. Like, like, why don't you reply to me, man? Why don't you fucking email me? Let me talk to you. Goddamn. So I told you I got a fucking Twitter now. God, late. Just talk to me there. Like, don't unsubscribe if you're feeling too offended. This is not the platform for you to fucking feel offended. All right, I'm not PC. All right, I'm respectful in some places, but I'm not fucking PC. All right, I grew up calling trannies fucking trannies and transvestites. They don't even say that anymore. They say transgender. I'm like, what do you fucking mean? Okay, listen. If you, I had this conversation with one of my gay friends a long time ago, and yeah, I have fucking gay friends. Listen, if you say you don't have fucking gay friends, you goddamn lying because some of them are in the closet and you don't even know they suck a dick. But yeah, no, he stopped me one day and he said, "Listen, man, you can't say trannies." And I'm like, okay, well, what's the problem with it? It's like, oh, it's just something. It's just offensive. And I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. What am I supposed to say? And he told me transgender. Transgender. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't mind transgender, but like you going from one gender to another, right? That's what trans means. Trans, like transferring something, right? Like transitioning. Like it's the change. And then gender. Well, we know what a gender is. Now, people can argue with me all day. I'm one of the people that haven't backed down saying that there's just two genders, male and female. And I know that's very controversial. I get it. People want to argue with me. People are going to get angry with me. I get it because that's what you are programmed to believe. I get it. And I'm also programmed to believe in two genders. But That's basically what it is. I've been seeing pussy and dick all my fucking life. Okay, I seen a lot of dick and I've seen a lot of pussy. All right, and not all the time. not most of the time it was voluntary. Okay, like, but those are the only two genders I've ever seen. Okay, I haven't seen any fucking other piece of equipment on anybody. There's always usually those two. Now, if you're trying to do your sexuality, saying, "Oh, you only like chicks with dicks," or dicks with chicks, or fucking men, or you only like women, or you only like both, or you only like people who dress up like dogs, or you only like fucking bees, which, by the way, is a thing. Apparently, you can have a sexual attraction to bees. Like, people now those things, like, I don't know what to say to that. I really don't, and I'm not gonna pretend like I know. I would say that I don't even know how I got on this topic. I felt like I was going to go somewhere with this, but here we are. That's the curse of having ADHD. I start somewhere and I don't even fucking know where I'm going. But but yeah, no, like, I'm not gonna pretend like I know people's sexuality, because, like, for me, I do love women. I do love women a lot. But here's the thing. Here's 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 what my understanding is. If people want to educate me, I'll be my guest. Now, don't think that it's going to change my mind, but I am willing to listen. But I do love women, but I only love women to my standards. All right? Like, and my standards are pretty fucking low as it is, but here's basically what it is. I don't like dumb broads. I don't like broads that seem basic. I don't like broads that fucking, I don't know, just follows the trends, wants to wear Ugg boots and posts makeup tutorials and goddamn. I don't like basic bitches. All right, like, everybody who wants all those bitches that want Stanley cups and, call themselves girlies at the end of the day, and fucking needs, I don't know, some kind of bag or something to fucking represent who they are. Like, those are basic bitches. I don't like them bitches. I hate them bitches a lot. All right, the ones that always smell like fruity fruits and shit like that. I don't like those bitches. I do like bitches that are, like, a little bit different though. Like, if you're one of those goth bitches, emo bitches, fucking nerdy bitches, um, bitches that usually people don't look at, like, right away. I'm sorry, but I like those bitches. You know why? Because the best way I can describe them, they're that little grape on a whole stem of grapes. You know what I mean? On the grapevine. All right, you know what I'm talking about. That little ass fucking grape that never got to see the sunlight too much, so it never grew to a full thing. Guess what? When you bite into that, it's the most juiciest fucking grape you ever goddamn bit into, and that's what I like. So yeah, so if you see my girlfriend history, it's always full of these weird ass bitches all day long. But there's always something to them. That's okay. Some of them let me put it in the ass. Some of them, ate my ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some of them just, they're special. They're special people. Oh my god. God damn it. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. You see, I almost got off track again. But yeah, no, I would say that I will consider myself to be a straight male. However, according to what I've been told from other people, I'll be identified as a pansexual, because apparently people who are pansexuals are the type of people that only are interested in people that the vibe with, for better sense, like they they can connect to, right? It can't be just like, oh, first time you see them, I want to fuck them. No, apparently you got to build a connection with that person first, and then you have, like, the sexual attraction, right? which I will say that's pretty much would describe me. But to me, that's like that's just chivalry. Like, yeah, I want to have a fucking connection before I fuck your fucking brains out. All right, like before I'm posting you and pinning you up against the fucking wall, choking the shit out of you. I want to have a fucking goddamn conversation for a little bit to know that you're not fucking crazy, and B, like that I fucks with you. Is that like? But I'm a pansexual for that? Like, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I think the LGBT chose a fucking rainbow, because it's a goddamn spectrum. It's a spectrum of lay. It's a spectrum of sex, apparently. But one thing I just don't like about the LGBT, which is not a good sentence to say, um, it's just I just don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it like that, but I just don't care about you. I got a lot of shit on my plate. And I don't want to be reminded all day that you suck dick or you eat pussy or you like taking cucumbers in the ass. I don't care. I don't care what you do. I'm not a part of it. You're not fucking me. I'm not fucking you. And I get it. But I don't know. I know that like the moment I talk about LGBT, I know I'm gonna have a bullseye on my back, and I know that people like this is a very touchy subject, right? What was the three things you can't talk about? Like it was like religion, um, sports, and politics, right? Like you can't talk about those because those are off like gonna be an automatic argument somewhere. But I guess now they have to add a fourth, right? Which is sexuality specifically. And I don't know. I just don't want to talk. I'm just tired of hearing about it. Like I hear more about that. I hear more about sex than I do the war on Gaza. Okay, I hear more. I don't do anybody even follow up with the Ukraine and Russia shit anymore. What happened to that shit? We what Americans only care for like 2 weeks, and then that's it. Then we gotta fucking find out that Tiffany Charlemagne is fucking dating Kylie Jenner, like Tiffany Chalamet, whatever his fucking name is. I'm just saying, like, that's one thing I love about America. One thing I really, really love is that we really pretend to give a fuck when we actually don't. And I wish more people was open to that. Like, can you really can you really say you give a fuck? Do you really give a fuck about the war on Gaza, or are you just giving a fuck because Instagram tells you to give a fuck? That Facebook tells you to give a fuck. I'll be honest. It's terrible. It's terrible what's going on. It's horrible what's going on. And I can acknowledge that, but I don't give a fuck. I don't. You know why? Because it's not happening to me. And you know what? I'm man enough to fucking say that's why I don't give a fuck. Because some people don't even can't even say that out loud. They have to pretend to give a fuck because they're worried about whether another like, oh, you don't give a fuck. Oh my god, what kind of fucking monster are you? Like, well, guess what, bro? Like, you don't give a fuck either. You're just caring because other people tell you to care about it. Now, if you truly do care about it, well, congratulations. I commend you. But I'm gonna be honest, not a lot of people do because it's not happening to them. Because I don't know. I don't know how you have that fucking time and freedom to care about other people other than yourself. You're over here, fucking eating Cheerios at 8 at night because you can't afford a goddamn meal. Like, you know what I mean? You guys are going through your own fucking problems. I don't even know how you fucking have time to worry about other people's shit. And before my pops soften up a little bit because I guess that's what older age does. I remember caring about certain things, right? I used to care. I still kind of care a little bit. I try to do my part, but I used to care so much about the environment, right? And I'm trying to picture this is my youth talking, but I used to care so much about the environment, right? Because in my school at the time, we used to be very environmentally friendly, right? We used to recycle paper and bottles and plastics. And if I'm being honest, I think I was just doing it for the pussy. All right. I think I was just trying to be hip to try to get some fucking pussy. And, and I remember my dad told me this, right? I saw him litter, right? And I said, yo, Pops, why'd you do that? And he's like, listen, by the time this world fucking burns from global warming, I'll be long dead, so I don't give a fuck. That was his line of thinking. And you know what? I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now, which is I'm going to worry about my goddamn self. And that's all you really can do. And I'm just saying, if you got the time and energy to worry about other shit, whatever, that's your fucking time. But if you're struggling too, I don't think you got the luxury to worry about other people's shit. But I'll be honest, I almost did it too. I almost worried about somebody else not that long ago. Almost did it. When the war on Ukraine and Russia happened, I remember they were taking anybody they can to help. I almost signed up. I almost went to the Ukraine because that's what I really had to do. Like, I felt like that's my calling. Like, again, I'm a soldier at heart. Like, if there's a battle, if there's a war, I feel like it's my duty to do it because when I see oppressed people, that's what I feel naturally to do is to stand up. However, thanks to my lovely, lovely, lovely person of a whore wife, and she's not a whore, but I call her that in my head. Um, no, she told me not to do it. Blah blah. Like, what's that got to do to my family? Like they don't really have blah 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 blah. So yeah, basically, I don't get to go to Russia. I don't get to play with the grenades and blow up with the other people. So there's that, which kind of upsetted me at the time because I felt like it was like a duty. It wasn't a want. It wasn't a need. It was like a must. Like I had to do it. It's all right. I probably would have fucking blown up anyways. I'm a fat fuck now again, because I still love food. I'm still trying to change that about me, but um, yeah, no, I would have been an easy target for sure. Would have the vest wouldn't really protect my love handles. You know what I mean? Like if anybody got pinched in the love handles before, I can't imagine a goddamn bullet going through that fat. Oh my god! All right, guys. Whoa! Holy shit! Look at that. Me talking about some bullshit actually made it over an hour. Well then, I don't gotta talk anymore. Yeah. So if anybody, well, I ended off with this. Just real quick, let me tell you this thing. Uh, Speaking of podcasts, I think like I mentioned before about a podcast about the afterlife. Well, on a separate podcast, um, there was this guy. I forgot his name. I think his name was Patty something. I don't fucking know. But this guy, he's interesting too, right? In the sense of he actually is old enough to remember days where it was segregated still. He went to school in a segregated school, and and he actually worked on a plantation where believe his grandparents or his parents, something like that, was also slaves to this particular plantation before slavery was abolished. But their family still stood there to work because that's all they knew. So it was quite fascinating, the story. But yeah, like he goes into things like when he went to segregated school, he says that to abolish segregation, it was he says it was the worst thing that ever happened. And I was like, what? This is a big claim, and then I got to see it through his eyes, which is that like when I guess when you grow up in it, I guess this is true to a sense when you grow up to it. Like, I guess it's like you're kind of numb to it, you know, like it just is what it is. So, like, the way he described it is that he went to like an all black people high school, and there was an all white person high school, and that was pretty much the end of it. And he felt like going to an all people, well, all black school actually had a sense of community. Like, people felt stronger with each other because they recognize their people, and they all come from similar backgrounds, and they're all related. And so did white people, and then they didn't really care too much. And then when they decided to do, like, to abolish that and wanted to like do interracial schools, Ruby Parks and shit like that, he find it to be frustrating because, like, it felt forced upon. It felt like they were trying to rush things and trying to like force the whole integration like quick. And I get that. Like, I kind of get that a little bit because, like, that's what I'm feeling now. You're forcing cocks down my goddamn throat with this whole LGBT shit. And I'm like, yo, let's just take it easy a little bit, Let's just go into it. But no, no, I got commercials getting shoved down my goddamn throat here. But yeah, so he's actually pretty fucking interesting as a person. He goes into like everything that we don't believe anymore. You know what I mean? Like he says the same thing my dad says, that we still are segregated. It's just, instead of white and black, which is easy to see, we try to segregate people through green, which is money, which is I actually found to be interesting too. And he didn't talk about this, but I will talk about this for a second. Is that I just noticed something the other day, which is we talk about what we are and be proud of it, which is weird. And here's what I mean. It's in my eyes, it's negative, which is I noticed that, like, when broke people are talking to other broke people, we talk about how broke we are. Oh man, like, you don't know what broke is. I used to take showers in the water fountain. My mama couldn't afford no water. And then the next guy would be like, "Oh, you're so broke, man. I had to live in a pond, bro. Like, I lived in a pond inside of a shoebox, full of 9 people inside that shoebox. Like, and then they gotta top each other. And I think the same thing with rich people. It's like, oh, you got a G wagon? Well, I got my own private jet. Oh, you got a private jet? Well, my daddy owns the moon. Like, shit like that. But I notice broke people want to brag about being broke, and rich people want to be bragging about how rich they are. It's fascinating. I don't know why we do that, but I don't know. I gotta dive deep into that. I gotta go into the psychology of that. I just fucking noticed that the other day. But yeah, going back to this other guy, me and him have this similarity in a way. Me and his grandparents, I should say, which is his grandparents, or no, I should say his parents, because this was a time when it wasn't slavery anymore, but they were still working on the plantation, which is like they were trying to make an honest living, but I guess the the plantation owner did not care. It's like, oh, these niggers want to fucking work on my fields. Well, I'm gonna give them 10 cents an hour or whatever, and just fucking call it a day. And yeah. So the people around this plantation owner, they didn't like that there were still black people working for them, and not because, like, they felt like they should be free. It wasn't even that. They just didn't like black people in general. So these other white guys came around this family. Now, they used to live on the plantation because, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you got to get to work, and as soon as you come, like, done for the day, your home's right there, right? So that's how they live for a long time. And this the husband, he had a shotgun. right? He purchased a shotgun from the money that he earned, and that's how he protected himself. So when these white boys came around hassling them, bothering them, well, Pappy had a fucking shotgun, and he just had to wave that shit around, and they would just go away. Well, one night was a particular night, which was that he used to keep it under his bed. So whenever he woke up and he heard things, he could just reach for it right there, right, and start waving that shit around. Well, one night when he was sleeping, he heard these motherfuckers come around again. They were starting up some shit. And while they're in the middle of panicking,